Club officials didn't wait until Phil Mickelson finished his round. A female staff member had reported an incident to management, an investigation opened, and officials drove out onto the course to find the six-time major winner mid-round. He was confronted on the spot and left the property before finishing. His attorney says the account doesn't hold up against the evidence. The San Diego County Sheriff's Office looked into it and says it hasn't found anything to support the claim. Meanwhile, the tour he helped build is running low on cash at almost the same moment. That's the backdrop as LIV Golf New York lands at Trump National Golf Club Bedminster from August 6th through the 9th, its third stop at this course in 5 years, and its first since 2023. 57 players across 13 teams are chasing roughly $30 million, split between individual and team prizes. 33 players from the 2023 field are returning. Phil Mickelson isn't one of them. The High Flyers captain is sitting this one out, with Scott Vincent taking his roster spot. So 3 threads need untangling: what's going on with Mickelson, what's going on with Tiger Woods, and what happens to LIV once the funding dries up. The Mickelson absence started in winter. On February 1st, he announced he'd skip the season-opening events in Saudi Arabia and Australia, citing a family health situation involving his wife Amy. He said Ali Schneider would fill in at Riyadh, the same substitute who'd stepped in the previous year during a shoulder injury. His only competitive start all year came in mid-March at LIV Golf South Africa, where he tied for 48th. In early April, he pulled out of the Masters, a tournament he's won 3 times, again citing the family matter and telling fans he'd be watching from home. Chairman Fred Ridley said he'd be missed. His name briefly showed up in the PGA Championship field in May before withdrawing again within hours, and he admitted to a reporter that he simply couldn't play right now. June brought no U.S. Open either. His exemption had run out, the USGA didn't extend a special invite, and he never filed to qualify. That made this the first season in his career he's missed all 4 majors. Then came the controversy. Golf Digest reported in June that he was no longer a member at a club outside San Diego after a female employee accused him of unwanted physical contact before a round that spring. According to the reporting, he approached her at the clubhouse, she rebuffed him, and she reported it. The club investigated, confronted him mid-round, and asked him to leave the grounds. In a statement, the club said it takes any misconduct allegations seriously, supported the employee, ran an independent investigation, and confirmed he's no longer a member, though it declined to give further detail out of respect for privacy. The other side matters here too. His attorney argued the description is contradicted by video evidence, though Golf Digest reported there were no cameras covering that spot, and the club confirmed no footage exists of any interaction between the two. No contradicting video was ever produced. Mickelson himself said there was a lot of misinformation swirling while he focused on his family situation, and that he'd hold anyone spreading false claims accountable. A spokesperson later said any misunderstanding had been resolved, and it's since been confirmed he resigned his membership. Golf Digest noted the health matter and this incident are unrelated. One small detail underscored the shift: the clubhouse wall honoring the club's notable golfers, which once featured him prominently, no longer does. Part of why this landed so hard is what came before it. Back in 2016, he was named in an insider trading case, not charged, but repaid close to $1 million tied to a single trade. Years later, the gambler at the center of that case wrote that Mickelson had wagered enormous sums over decades, including dozens of baseball bets in a single day, and even claimed he'd talk him out of betting on a Ryder Cup he was playing in. Mickelson denied ever betting on the Ryder Cup, acknowledged he enjoys friendly wagers, and has spoken openly before about getting treatment for gambling addiction. It's a sharp contrast with the other name missing this week. Where Tiger Woods kept fans at arm's length, Mickelson built his brand on being accessible: the autographs, the smiles, the ambassador role. Bedminster was where that image peaked, with Donald Trump greeting him warmly at past editions. This week, here's a footnote in a substitution note instead. Tiger Woods turned 50 in December and hasn't played a PGA Tour event since mid-2024. He tore his Achilles last spring, then had a lower back disc replacement in October, his 7th back procedure overall. Back in February, he sounded optimistic about the Masters, but weeks later admitted recovery was tougher than expected, saying his body just doesn't bounce back like it used to. Then in late March, he was arrested after a rollover crash near his home and later pleaded not guilty to DUI-related charges. He said he was stepping away to focus on treatment and his health and spent roughly 3 months in rehabilitation and pain management abroad. A judge has since allowed prosecutors access to his prescription history under a protective order, while his side has pushed for privacy. The case remains unresolved. He missed every major this year, and is confirmed he won't captain the next Ryder Cup team either. Through it all, fellow major champion Ernie Els has been quietly recruiting him toward the Champions Tour, pointing out that carts are allowed there and that Woods, now 50, is finally eligible. Woods has acknowledged the appeal given his back, though he said he won't use a cart on the regular tour out of principle. Realistic comeback markers now look like the father-son event in December, his own no-cut event in the Bahamas, senior golf in 2027, and the Masters next spring, where his past wins guarantee him a lifetime invite. Behind all of this, LIV Golf Saudi backers are pulling their funding after this season. The league's CEO is hunting for new investors and floating a restructuring without guaranteeing the remaining events will even happen, and there have been reports of players and vendors going unpaid. Sale price estimates land somewhere around $200 to $300 million, with buyer rumors swirling and mostly denied. The Bedminster course itself remains under Trump Organization ownership, with no sale finalized. It's a strange twist given Mickelson was once the league's chief recruiter and public face, reportedly paid around $200 million to help launch it, lawsuit and all. On the course, there's still golf to be played, a points race tightening at the top, a big wire-to-wire win the week before, a former blowout champion defending his title, and a redesigned layout stretched longer than ever, with storms in the forecast for all 4 rounds. But the real story of this Bedminster week is what's missing. 2 of the sport's defining figures of the last 25 years, both absent from the same season for entirely different reasons, one battling his body and the law, the other battling the fallout of his own choices. The question hanging over all of it is simple: does either of them ever get back to a stage like this again?